Get the show on the road, shall we? Man, I'm like 0 for 3 with the companies I try promoting. I used to talk positively about Niji Sanji, V Referee, and Vishojo, and every single time, and they just like milk sitting in a high-ass car.
Same shit, different day!
Basically, Vishojo is dead.
What the fuck did you just say?
It now has 0 talents, and it's gone. Like, actually gone. I want to say this video isn't going to spread speculation or what ifs. All the information are coming from what the talents have said up until the recording of this video. It just makes sense to only use what the people that are affected are saying.
Nigga swung his body.
Also, don't go hating on anyone. Instead, go show some love to the talents, donate to the Immune Deficiency Foundation, link in the description, and if you can, donate some plasma. Alright, let's get into this shit.
Where's StaticTokyo again?
Vishojo, the once-held golden child of Vtuber company.
Go fucking jerk off.
What are we talking about?
Turns out, shit was made out of paper mache, spray painted gold, because they fucked up bad, like stealing money from charity bad.
What the scallop?
Now before we get there, as we know, I glazed Vishojo like crazy.
4K, just dick rotted.
So I feel as though it's my responsibility to do a quick take back seat.
Take backseat.
Like I've done before, more than I would like to admit. I'm pretty sure everyone knows Vishojo in the good light. Usually when you hear the name Vishojo, you think of the fantastic talents like Zentreya, Project Melody, Apricot, K-San, and of course, Iron Mouse, who was hailed as the face of the company.
Oh wowie, I love pizza.
Or was the face of the company. Anyway, obviously, there's way more members than the ones I just listed. They will all be listed and linked in the description. At that point, everything seemed cool. New people came in like Matsura, Kuro, Michi, Giga, Amalie joined soon after, which is like pulling 5-5-star units in a gacha game. Unheard of. A new wave on the JP side called Nova was announced, and to the public eye, everything seemed cool. I mean, I sure as hell didn't suspect anything, mostly because it's not my business, but niggas just started to you know, leave. Madara says that Vishojo decided to actually part ways with her on March 6th, which responses was filled with nothing but support. We love to see it. Giga leaves June 27th after being a member of Vishojo for like only 2 years, which big surprise for most people. And this is when people started to think,
Wait a minute.
I personally don't like assuming the worst off the bat. Maybe Giga joined, just didn't fuck with it, just enjoyed being an indie more, you know, childish bliss. You feel me? Iron Mouse also made a tweet the same day saying that she had to stick up for herself, which could be related. I don't fucking know. I'm only bringing this up since it also led people's suspicion to arise. Flashbang! Yeah, to which Zen would leave July 11th. This was a huge surprise because Zen has been in Vishojo for like 5 years. At this point, I do understand the public suspicion, and I feel as though thinking something was going on at the company isn't really skepticism at this point. Also because you're not, you know, making up a clear-cut assumption based on nothing, so it's not really skepticism, it's more like just a suspicion. I don't know. Oh, that can't be good. Iron Mouse leaves Vishojo.
Damn, nigga.
To get to the point, so this video isn't like an hour long for no fucking reason. This all comes down to money and greed and a few other things, but Vishojo is basically stealing money from their talent.
Vishojo hasn't paid a significant amount of money.
At the moment, with how things are freaking going, I'm probably not getting paid. I don't think a lot of us are.
With the information that I currently have, I believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds.
A charity?
The thing that hurts me the most is that the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which is the most important charity to me, and also the reason why I'm here today, is owed over $500,000 from Vishojo.
And delaying and not paying freelance workers like artists and things of that nature.
Stop being stupid.
To go more in depth, I recommend watching Iron Mouse's videos about the topic because again, I'm not news. You know, have your own opinion. Don't let me be the end all be all. But to sum it up, Iron Mouse did a subathon that basically exploded Twitch. It broke records. It made a lot of money, like a fuck ton of money. Iron Mouse decided to split the bread in half and give it to the IDF, Immune Deficiency Foundation. Now, she has done the same thing before and Vishojo paid it off on her behalf without any issues. But this time, for some fucking reason, they were like,
No.
mind you, this is like $500,000 we're talking about.
What the fuck did you just say?
That's what I'm saying. That ass $515,000 was supposed to go to the Immune Deficiency Foundation, and a year later, Vishojo still hasn't donated the money to the foundation.
I'm so sorry. I forgot there's some bitch niggas in here.
This, of course, upset Mouse a lot, especially since Mouse herself has an immune disorder called CVID, Common Variable Immunodeficiency. I sound like a doctor saying that shit. I said that right the first time. First take Mike. Anyway, where her body's immune system just doesn't like to fight, therefore she can and will get sick very, very easily. This led to Mouse being isolated and is the reason she turned to streaming in the first place. IDF even has helped Mouse as well, so not only did this under-the-desk gum-licking company/CEO steal from a charity,
You are a worthless bitch ass.
the money was raised by a person that this charity has helped and someone that has an immune disorder themselves.
You have lost your mind.
The bar was literally in Satan's asshole and they literally went lower than that. How is that possible? They still owe Mouse money as well on top of the charity shit. So there's no telling how much money they just kept. Mouse also talks about the downsides of being the main face of Vishojo, as Mouse would constantly be told, "Oh, we need you so the company survives." Well, that may be good to hear. It also adds a fuck ton of pressure.
I would always be told how important I was for the company, and I was always told that I was needed in order for the company to succeed. Although that was very positive to hear, it put a lot of pressure and a lot of stress on me to the point where I felt guilt-tripped into signing. I felt responsible for everybody. I felt responsible for staff and talent alike.
And obviously, not her job for real. She's a talent. But when we get to Giga, you'll see that talents are doing way more than just being talents. Due to all this, especially with Vishojo withholding the money they owe Iron Mouse, but also not donating $500,000 to the charity she poured her blood, sweat, and tears into, the IDF, there will be a link in the description to Iron Mouse's Tiltify page to the IDF that she set up when she announced her departure from Vishojo. Right now, it has over $1 million raised, but please keep donating if you can. Consider donating some plasma if you're able to. Now, as we know, Giga parted ways with Vishojo on June 27th, 2025, and she has spoken about what she can speak about, because obviously there's legal stuff and NDAs involved at this point for speaking, so she can't say much at this moment. Now, there's a chance there's more information coming out after this video is uploaded, but who knows. But what I can gather, and I recommend to go watch the various clips of Giga speaking on the topic herself, the company was just not well managed and not putting the eggs in the right basket. Giga is high-key smart as hell, and she was actively trying her best for the company, having meetings, going over some financial stuff, because Vishojo would just do dumb shit, like spend money on Subway advertisements in Japan.
Now, before you start hating, ask yourself, be honest, ain't I'm clean, no?
Where that money could have, like, been put into concerts and things of that nature. Giga even showed concerns of introducing new talent just due to the fact that Vishojo didn't quite have their shit all together. I'll let Giga explain this bit in her own words.
There was just a lot going back where I was like, things in my mind had not been going too well for them for a long while. And I felt that way for a long while. And then they wanted to bring people in. And I said, I don't know if we should be bringing anyone in when these issues are here. I don't know if I like that, especially with smaller talent, because let's talk about money for a second. Be very realistic about this. When you are a company, the nature of your company is when you bring someone in, they don't instantly get hundreds of thousands of followers. When you bring in someone who's a small name, who doesn't have any prior audience, who doesn't have any prior anything they're bringing with them, right? This is not a company that just debuts someone unknown and they get a billion people following them. That's not what this company has.
I think it's also important to keep in mind that Giga at this point already wanted to leave.
So I made sure I helped there. And so I sat down, had discussions with people. I said, hey, here's what I need. By the time I was doing this, I'm gonna probably make a video talking more in depth at some point, but by the time I was doing a lot of this, I was already preparing to leave. I hadn't really told people that's where I was, but I was already ready for that. I still wanted to help. I stayed longer than I wanted to. I stayed a lot longer than I wanted to sit there and try, you know, and do, again, a lot of the very recent information was not stuff that had come come to light yet. So I was like, there's still that Hail Mary that we can do where we can sit here and talk over a lot of this stuff and just see what happens. See if some people are willing to give up the reins on certain things, if some people are willing to adjust strategy, right? Like change what they think we should be doing and just adjust paths. Because again, with the people that we had, no reason why it shouldn't have been able to work.
And even spent her time sitting her ass in a meeting, writing notes, and then passing them along to Vishojo, being like, look gang, if you want my ass to stay here, these things need to happen. And ultimately, Vishojo just fuck you. Or they'll have talks about change in hopes that it would sway Giga's decision. And Shawty was like,
That don't work.
now, obviously, it wasn't just Giga that realized, this company is kind of shitting its pants. Her manager also tried to get shit moving, but things would ultimately just disappear into the ether, or fall on deaf ears. The company also wouldn't talk about the members that were going to join Vishojo, even after Giga kept asking since I think she said January. Eventually, she was either told or found out way later, at least the members that I'm aware of that were supposed to join and were supposed to have debuted by this point, which is Phoebe-chan and Maid Mint. We will get into more details of their stories soon, but this wave was supposed to be idol-centric, right? With Phoebe, you know, being an idol, and Mint also being an idol. At least I would call her an idol. She goes crazy.
It's just one of those days when you don't want to wake up. Everything is fucked. Everybody sucks.
But Giga brings up that Vishojo wouldn't have the necessary bread to fund the projects that this wave would want to do, and even said the girls now usually fund their own concerts and shit.
So you want me to be okay with when later I found out one of the people was one of my own friends, I was like, now I'm extra mad. Right? Like, I have to watch you potentially promise a friend of mine a bunch of things that I know you can't really help with. My friend, someone who wants to do music. Can you pay for a concert for this person? No, because they hadn't been covering stuff like that for any of us. They hadn't been covering anything for us. So if someone comes in, they want to do like music, which means getting a 3D model, doing concerts, doing all this stuff. I was like, that's an expensive venture. Can you help them with it in that you can connect them maybe to some resources for it? Yeah. You help them financially? No. So if they're a small talent and they want to do music, what can you actually do for them? What are you offering them? Genuinely. Like, oh yeah, we'll email a studio for you. Why can't they do that themselves? Right? Like, I was just like, I don't know what we're thinking here.
This nigga's spitting right now.
So having an idol-centric group doesn't really make much sense now, does it? You might as well feed a snail salt. Phoebe-chan. So most of this year, the big 2025, Phoebe dedicated most of her time trying to join Vishojo, you know, get the ball rolling. Phoebe-chan used to be a part of Prism Project, but then Prism Project kind of died.
The next day, the motherfucker was dead.
But she was excited, and according to Phoebe and Mint, the staff treated them great, so that's good. This was a way for Phoebe to take the idea she had for 2.5 idol content and make them come true, but shit kept getting like crazy delayed. However, the staff that worked with her tried their best. Shouts out to Panini specifically. It was just bad news after bad news. She even had to put her VTuber persona, Ami Amami, on hiatus to prepare for debut, just to be benched for a few more months. Of course, this is now fucking with Phoebe's paper.
Nothing like saltwater soup.
Especially after finding out that she would have to, you know, fund her own anniversary album, even though Vishojo was like, nah, I got you, we can pay for it. Giga called that shit. Didn't she? I'm not gonna lie, she called that shit crazy. Plus, due to the delay, the album wasn't going to release on her 5-year anniversary, which was the original plan. But Phoebe held on to hope. But then Vishojo gets exposed for not paying talents and withholding funds that was supposed to go to charity. And there was a lot of things happening internally where basically nobody knows what the fuck is going on. Come to find out, Vishojo had poor communication and delayed payments, which led to most of Phoebe's assets not even being done. We talking no stream overlay, no background, and no model art and rigging art.
Yo, niggas really be dumb as shit.
Which is probably like the first thing you want to figure out, low-key. So due to this, she can't even debut the new look as an indie, I don't think. Vishojo just basically wasted Phoebe's year. Despite this, Phoebe still gives her thanks to the wonderful staff that tried their best, and even though every time she's tried to join a company it ended up slamming her face into a wall, she is still hopeful for the future, and she isn't going to give up that easy and is going to try and find ways of making her dreams come true, and also said to give love and support to all the talent, and even the managers and staff who did their best without knowing what the fuck was going on.
Everything is fucked. Everybody sucks.
with May and Mint, we obviously know what happened since Mint and Phoebe were going to debut in the same wave. 1 + 1 is 2 type shit. Don't be dumb. Come on, use your noggin. But Mint wanted to join Vishojo officially. The officially part is important. She just wanted to, you know, be a part of something. She felt lonely. However, Vishojo didn't really fit her goals since she wanted to do idol shit.
And at that time, I kind of was talking to Matara, and I was saying how I was, sorry. How I, was just feeling pretty lonely, and how I, sorry, was feeling how I, was really wanting to join a group or a company. And, you know, how, you know, Vishojo would be good, but it wasn't exactly goal-oriented towards the things I wanted to do.
Matsura responded being like, dang, just ask Vishojo if they would be interested in doing an, like, you know, an idol-themed wave. And since Mint knew Gunrun, the CEO, before they were a VTuber from idol stuff, it was easy pickings. So she was officially signed on, but not debuted yet. Now, she was working for Vishojo before this, just not as a talent. She was doing merch under them with like Madara and shit, which they weren't paid for, by the way. Ain't that fucking splendid?
I was only working with Vishojo. I was not in Vishojo as a member. You know, we released merch and things like that. I do want to mention I did not receive money for that from any of the merch drop. But I, you know, it wasn't really about that for me, so I, you know, just kind of wrote it off. And, you know, Matara and I, we did, we have the money from the Patreon itself, so it was just the merchandise that we did not get paid for.
However, we kind of know how it went afterwards at this point. Things became very slow. The staff that was working with them did try their best, but it just really sucks. Mint was rightfully so excited for this and saw it as another opportunity, considering the last company she was in kind of fucked her over as well. But goddamn, Shotty can't catch a break. She's honestly been through enough. Let her catch a big W one time, please. Zen, like basically everyone else, isn't being paid.
And I got sugar water for dessert. I'm going all out tonight.
I see that some people who definitely audition for the auditions for the group. I'm seeing a lot of people who are stepping up and saying, hey, I auditioned for the group. I didn't get through, or they did get through, but they don't want to go through. I was really excited about that. I was really excited about the auditions. I'm trying to it together because I know how much that probably meant to a lot of you.
He says that she feels stupid for promoting the brand so much.
I feel like shit knowing that I promoted the brand so much. I feel stupid.
I think I speak for everyone when I say this isn't Zentrea's fault at all. It's not your fault, Twin. You good. You didn't think the company was just gonna, you know, not donate $500,000 and instead take the money. Like, who would've guessed that shit? Not me. Zen talks about how she's just pissed on how things were handled behind the scenes, even with the auditions.
I have been extremely fucking pissed for the past few months. I have been extremely upset with how things were handled behind the scenes. And the auditions. A goddamn fucking auditions, bro.
I just ultimately hope that Zen doesn't go too hard on herself, because I don't think she was being stupid. She just had trust in a workplace that preached about being talent forward, and to most of the eyes looking in, that's what it seemed like.
I'm in a protection mode!
Literally the first person from Vishojo that I watched. Hey son, my Japanese is shit, especially after I stopped studying it like 2 years ago, but I still sit in her streams, not understanding shit when the Japanese pops out. Yeah, Shotty didn't get paid for like a year.
First of all, I was already planning to leave Vishojo this month, specifically, on the 31st. Yes, and the reason why, because, Vishojo hasn't paid a significant amount of money, to me too. Yes, this is the truth, yes. And for that, what should I say? They haven't paid me since last year. I guess it was September.
It's on. It's so cooked. It's burning.
I quit Vishojo today.
はい。
Vishojo 辞めます今日。
はい。
はい。31日予定でしたけど、今日辞めます。I quit. This is very wrong. You're telling me that Vishojo JP was doing good. Looked like, at least.
はい。
Doing good.
払っていたとしても、ケイソンに払っていたとしても大丈夫だったっていう感じですね。
You're telling me you could have paid me?
そういうことです。
Then where is it? Where is it? I want it now.
Tell them to bring me my money.
In a stream where she is sitting with the JP CEO, and she's basically asking all these questions, trying to get answers on what the fuck is happening. And that's when she learns, oh, y'all are just choosing not to pay me. And she even quits in front of the nigga's face.
Hey, hold on, this shit ain't funny. It ain't funny, but it is.
Vishojo, what the actual fuck?
You have lost your mind.
Now, in another more recent video, Kason does say that the JP branch could have been deceived as well, because the JP branch was told that everything was fine, but obviously
That is not correct.
it's a whole bunch of lying going on, so nobody knows what the fuck is going on truly.
日本支部の代表とも話したんですけども、代表も多分騙されてるし、いろんな説明を一応私よりかは受けてるはずなんですけれども、多分全部嘘を言われてるので、私に伝わることも全部嘘。
Also, Vishojo would hire a bunch of staff that were not really staff, they were just like friends, and give them like really high salary, like 10 million yen, which is around $67,000 USD, which isn't the norm in Japan. But when Vishojo's pockets went dry, that's when they had talent sign crazy contracts so Vishojo could make more money.
Hello, I like money.
To pay the staff. You see what I'm saying here? They're using their talents as cash cows, basically. It's fucked up. But I think what Kason is talking about is specifically to the JP side, but I could be wrong. You know, correct me in the comments if I am. Just to make another thing clear, Vishojo doesn't take a cut from like Twitch and YouTube revenue, from my understanding. Instead, they are supposed to take a cut from things like merch and sponsors that they get for you. These talents that weren't getting paid off their merch were basically living off the shit they made on Twitch and YouTube. So Kason hasn't seen any of the money Vishojo was supposed to pay her for 10 months or 11 months. I don't know when this video comes out. No bread since September of 2024.
Tell them to bring me my money.
And there is no telling how long it's been since the other talents didn't get paid. Like Kuro said, he barely got paid for the merch he did a year ago.
I got paid for that merch from 2 years ago, last month, and that's a fact.
Enya hasn't been paid for a long time either.
And unfortunately, Vishojo owes me significant amount of unpaid debt that I haven't been paid in a long time.
Y'all niggas can't be for real.
Crazy part is, Kason was going to leave on the 31st of this month due to her, you know, not being paid.
Till that time, it was good. Everything was good. I did not have any complaints. Well, sometimes the payment was kind of slow. It was really not on time, but they paid. So I was like, okay, they're getting slow again. And then recently, well, it was becoming like, oh my god, this is not good. This is too late, and everything is, I think something is going wrong. So I have been lied to from the company a lot about the situation. So my payment stopped last September. I was asking what's going on for a long time, multiple times. All they said was, it's gonna be paid, it's gonna be paid, it's gonna be paid.
So that was a fucking lie.
Kason took this long to leave, mostly due to her being scared that they will just not pay her at all. But obviously at this point, it's way beyond that. And also there's like sponsors and shit she was still connected to that she wanted to see through. You know, business type shit. Kason even feels bad that she, like Zentreya, hyped up Vishojo a lot. Again, Kason, you didn't know all this shit was happening for real. It's not your fault. You the GOAT. Keep doing your thing.
Why does that look weird?
You trying to get freaky or what?
Why does that look so weird? Oh, never mind. So sorry if this may sound a little bit repetitive, but basically, I recently found out that Vishojo owes me a good amount of unpaid debt.
What?
It's almost like a shitty record player that keeps playing the same damn song. So, okay, as we know, Michi, same as Mint and Kuro and Matra, now that I'm thinking about it, came from another place. But Vishojo did treat Michi better than the other company. Doesn't exactly change the fact that, you know, they stole $500,000 from charity.
There's no way out of this one.
Michi basically just feels embarrassed that she gassed this company up a lot, similar to Keisan and Zentreya. But Michi is just very grateful for the opportunities that Vishojo provided, meeting new people, trying new things, and even helping her out with things that she just wasn't capable of doing at that time. And in turn, Michi was like, well shit, let me pay my respects and hype this community up.
Yeah, yes, praises to the Most High.
Because this company has given me so much opportunities, which is valid. She trusted in the company that helped her so much. Imagine, right, the person you trusted the most decides to baki uppercut you in the balls. That is what the situation probably felt like to Michi. She feels bad and a little bit embarrassed for hyping up this company, but you know, it's not your fault, Michi. It's all good. You shouldn't feel embarrassed. It was a different time. You had no idea what was going on, all right? You're good. Silvervale, Vay, and Nanners were supposed to leave at the same time, but Vishojo made Nanners stick around longer, so it looked better for the company because 3 members leaving at the same time looks worse compared to just 2 members leaving at the same time or some shit. Now that people are speaking up and the company is like actually, you know, dead. So to start, Silver and Vay, if I'm not mistaken, left at the same time back in 2023. They couldn't really say much as to why due to NDA shit, but they were able to speak up now. And not gonna lie, kind of fucked up.
But like the culmination of how I was treated really solidified me leaving. And when all of the Wizard Game stuff was happening, if you guys remember that, I know a lot of people think that I had no support, and you can't imagine how true that was. I was put into a call with Gunn, the CEO of the company, like someone that I admired and I looked up to and I wanted to please, someone that I thought was the coolest person ever. And he told me that I was a damage to the brand, that I was a disappointment. I was told that me being harassed was an inconvenience to the other talents and not to talk to them. Optics were more important than their own talents' well-being. And I was suspended from streaming. They said it wasn't a suspension because they weren't that kind of agency, but what else do you call being told not to stream?
You are a worthless bitch ass nigga.
Yeah, Gunrun, respectfully, disrespectfully, fuck you. If y'all don't know what she is talking about, Silvervale caught a bunch of shit for playing Hogwarts Legacy because, you know, fuck J.K. Rowling. Not gonna lie though, I played the fuck out of Hogwarts Legacy and I enjoyed the game because I like Harry Potter.
You need to leave!
But Silvervale got a lot of shit from it. Playing Hogwarts Legacy on release was like saying your boyfriend is Diddy. You got dragged crazy. But for your company CEO to just shit talk you is wild work. Over a video game! We dead ass, and when Vay and Silvervale left, the company then started to just lie on them, saying they were trying to get more money, and that they were troublemakers, and even slandered Silvervale to third parties, which probably fucked up her bread, and potentially just ruined opportunities that Silvervale wanted or would have had.
They of course discredited us to the staff and the other members as soon as we left. Like they painted us as troublemakers and problem people, that we were greedy and asked for more money. There's like so many horrible things just to avoid the truth that they were stealing from us. And I later found out that they had been slandering me to musicians and artists that I had worked with through Vishojo, and slandering me to companies and ruined potential business partnerships that I was really, really excited for some of my like dream collabs that were gonna happen.
Janners also did a stream talking about this, and Vay was in the chat saying that the narrative that Vishojo dick writers went with was that their boyfriends made them and we were greedy, when in reality they didn't get paid from sponsorships from like 2021 to 2023. Dude, that's like bad. Like it got to the point they would go to these girls' boyfriends and just harass them because they somehow jumped to the conclusion that it was the boyfriend's fault that made them leave.
Weird.
Boyfriend shit was... That is just insane. I had to watch Adel take so much shit, even though, like, privately, he wasn't telling me to leave or to stay.
So, like, okay, imagine getting, like, slapped on your bald head. That's right, you're bald now.
You bald-headed demo.
And you're getting slapped over and over and over. And you can't do shit about it. That's basically what Silverveil, Yanners, and Vebe went through. Now, Vebe had a lot of shit to say. A lot of interesting shit. I suggest reading it for yourself because, you know, I'm not gonna go word for word, bar for bar. Basically, in 2023, they had a fucking awful contract that they tried to get Vei to sign. Shadi kept asking questions, but they were being hostile and argumentative and just not answering questions. So Vei was like, fuck it, I'll get a lawyer just to get clarification. It was abundantly clear that Vishojo basically would rather have Shadi leave than take less than what they want. They wanted 60% of all merch, which is way too damn much. From my personal experience and with talking to others, I usually see like a 10 to 15%, 30% at the highest. Those that have been here longer than I and are smarter than my dumbass probably could give you more knowledge, but my black ass knows 60% from merch is too damn much. Vebe, however, just didn't want Vishojo to take a cut of the sponsors that she was getting through Mythic Talent. Because, you know, she got them through another entity that's not Vishojo, so why the fuck would Vishojo take a cut? You hear what I'm saying? Plus, Mythic already takes a cut since Mythic was the one that found it. Vishojo said no. So Vei was like, alright, cool, I'm leaving then. Since they wanted to act like Vebe owed the company for its success and that she should just give them more money. But that's when Vishojo gave her that horrible NDA that made it to where she couldn't talk to other talents about it. Vei couldn't say why she was leaving. Vishojo had spies in her Discord and in her stream. They threatened to sue her. The COO even went on 4chan. 4chan, spreading the rumor that Vei was joining OTK. And when she left and signed the NDA, that's when Vebe figured out, oh shit, I didn't get paid from my sponsor since 2021. It's time for shitty facts with Vebe. Their company lawyer had an expired law license. They actively compared and pitted the girls against each other, even trying to change their schedule so there wasn't overlap. They shit-talked other agencies, primarily Hololive, especially after getting Kason and Nazuno. They would even spend money to get like tiny digs at them. Previous talent managers was ghosted by the CEO Gunrun and told not to do anything for 6 months and then fired them for, you guessed it, not doing anything, aka the thing they were told to do. MTD was reprimanded for being creepy and told not to message them privately. MTD would also actively talk shit about Vei after she left the company at IRL streamer parties. Yeah. What's up with CEOs being dickheads? Is this like this is like the second or third time I've talked about it now. Well, now that I say it out loud, CEOs and dickheads do go hand in hand. But there has to be a good one, and like at least two. There has to be at least two good ones. Now, it's a common theme that when something this bad happens, the statement from the person that did the fucked up shit is also going to be a bad statement. In this case, is not an exception. Gunrun says he takes full responsibility for the decision that led to Vishojo shutting down and that he has been doing what he can to fundraise. Interesting choice of words there. And right to ship these past few months. But that shit obviously didn't turn out so well. The ship appears to be the Titanic. Basically, he says that the business model that Vishojo had just ended up not being sustainable, which I personally feel like that's bullshit.
Because again, with the people that we had, no reason why it shouldn't have been able to work.
There was no reason that Vishojo shouldn't work, but yet they found a way to make it not work.
Damn, nigga.
He also says that he later learned that the $500,000 was meant for a charitable initiative, which, read the community note. Yes, this shit got hit with a crazy community note. Gunrun personally congratulated Mouse about the charity and even reposted Ludwig mentioning that half of the money will go to the charity. So I personally call bullshit. Also, I'd like to mention that in Kayson's newest video as I'm editing, she also said that yes, Vishojo did file for bankruptcy and had all the talents, you know, fill out how much Vishojo owed them individually. Just, you know, tidbit. Go watch Kayson's video if you want more detailed information. I highly recommend it. This video is probably longer than I wanted it to be. You know, I tried to give y'all like a quick breakdown of everything that's happening. So obviously there's probably stuff that I missed. Make sure to look over what the talents said. yourself. Come to your own conclusion, even though I feel like it's pretty cut and dry. Fuck Vishojo, fuck gun run. So that's just me though. Ultimately, I believe it was greed, lack of transparency, lies, or financial decision, some improper staff and leadership, since Giga did a tweet replying to Vishojo's letter, literally saying that niggas weren't doing their job. They were playing games and leaking information and a bunch of dumb shit. Again, there's probably a lot that I missed. I suggest doing your own research using proper sources. I'm not the end-all be-all. Donate to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Iron Mouse and the community has raised 1.2 million at this point. But you can always give more. Link in the description. Donate plasma if you're willing. And links to the now past members of Vishojo will be linked in the description as well. Support them as much as you can. Some of them have, you know, gone on a break, but I'm sure they will return soon. All right? Peace.